Hi everyone, in this video I'd like to share with you a dream that I had on the 27th of September. And I believe this dream is a prophetic dream, and I believe it's one of those dreams that will play out in the natural somehow. I just want to say that I had this dream the same night that I had that XRP human being personification, the one where I said there was a guy running. Except what I didn't say in that video was that I didn't see him actively running. I just saw a vision of a running position, really, is what I saw. But anyway, and the nations were against him. Do you remember? I counted many nations that were onto him, right? Okay, so that same night that I had that, bearing in mind that I had the XRP dream while I was waking up, so I had it in the morning, really. But that night I had the dream that I'm about to share with you now. Do I think both dreams are related? No, I don't think both dreams are related, but let's see how things work out. What I do feel is that this dream is prophetic, and I do feel that the Lord wants me to share it in this video. So what happened was, the dream starts off with a bus that's coming very fast, too fast for the road. It was a narrow sort of road. It's one of those roads in London, in UK, where if there's a car coming, you have to give way for that car to go past before you go, depending on who has the right of way, yeah? So there was this bus coming very fast, and then there was another bus, and these are two London buses. So there was one London bus that was just driving normally, and then it was sort of, being careful because it was it was a narrow road, like I said, or rather there were cars packed on the road, so there wasn't much room to go as fast as one would normally want to go, really. So, and then, like I said, this other bus came driving very fast, and it came straight. And then it saw the other bus, and then it tried to move out of the way, but it couldn't. And they collided. They just collided, two London buses. And meanwhile, there were some people with me indoors, right? And this was happening outside on the road. So there was a few people that were with me, and that group of people that were with me wanted to go outside and have a look at the collision. And I said to them, no, don't go, it's too dangerous, don't go. And they went anyway. And when they got outside, there was a big explosion of the collision, the buses that crashed onto each other. There was a big fire on the road, basically. It's a big fire. And then, meanwhile, I myself was indoors, okay? And all of a sudden, because I couldn't go outside because there was fire outside in front of me, yeah? But meanwhile, suddenly there was fire behind me and the back, how do you say it? Where I would have been able to escape through the back, there was suddenly fire blocking my exit path indoors, yeah? And so suddenly I realized that I actually am locked in, I'm caged in with fire. I couldn't leave through the back door, and I certainly couldn't leave through the front door because there was fire on the street. And then, and just while I was realizing that, I saw a man, and I looked at him, and he looked at me, but he didn't say anything. But anyway, he proceeded very quickly to put out the fire. And then, and while he was putting out the fire, I woke up. While he was putting out the fire, and I was acknowledging that he's actually helping me, and I was trying to work out, how did the fire start? The fire was outside on a road, and suddenly there's a fire inside where I am, and I'm caged in this way and that way. So there's fire on this side and there's fire on that side, and I was just wondering, how did that happen? And then I and then I woke up. Sorry about the noise. So it's they're cleaning the road. If you're wondering what that noise is. So anyway, so that was the dream, and I just wanted to share that with you. I don't know what that dream means. The fact that it was 2 London buses, and I am mindful that this is the second time in a space of a few months that I've had dreams with London buses in them. There was that other dream where something fell from the sky, and there was some people in a London bus that witnessed the incident, right? And then there's this situation now with 2 London buses colliding. So my thinking is that this has probably got something to do with the capital, the London city. I'm wondering, but then who knows? So anyway, that's the dream. Now, before I go, I just want to say a word of encouragement, basically. So the word of encouragement I want to share with you today is regarding fear. So what the Lord was showing me this afternoon is how fear can cause someone to change the course of their direction. So what I saw was, in my imagination, what I saw as I was getting this understanding, I was imagining it. And what I saw was, like somebody walking, like myself. I'm walking on a path, and then fear meets me on my path. Let's say fear is like a lion, for example, and it meets me on my path. And so what happens is I change my direction and go a different direction. And I may not necessarily say I'm changing my direction because I'm afraid. I might say something to the effect of, I'm changing my direction because there's a roadblock. I might say it that way, as a talking myself into changing my direction, for example. And also, so while I was thinking about these things this afternoon, I saw how even sometimes people will make a decision to do something. That decision is birthed out of fear, actually. So what happens is that, which we all know, I mean, it's not saying this is new. We know that people make decisions based on out of fear. But this is what I saw that I want to share with you. So, for example, somebody gives me, maybe somebody shares an email or gives me shares a text message or something with me. And so when I receive that text message, there's something about that text message that I'm threatened by, for example, right? So what I would do is, rather than behaving the way I would normally have behaved and, dealing with that situation the way I would normally would have, because I suddenly have a fear arising in me from reading that text message, for example, I will pick up the phone and make a phone call and XYZ, or I'll send, I'll do this, or I will quickly do that, or XYZ, fill in the gaps. In other words, what's happened is that I have allowed fear to change the course of my direction, right? So when that text message arrived, let's say that whatever was written on that text message did not raise any fear in me, I would have just replied back to that person and said, okay, I see what you mean, etc., etc. Oh, wow, okay, well, can we discuss this, for example? But if fear comes and rises up and takes over, right? Takes over my thinking, I will make a decision and change my normal path. I will take a different direction. Do you see that? And the scripture for that will be in 2 Timothy chapter 1, verse 7, where it says that God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of of power, of love, and of a sound mind. So the Lord God has given us a sound mind, not fear. However, when fear comes in, fear is able to distort my thinking and change my course, even up to me making a different decision than I would have done because of fear. Yeah. I think we've heard this many times, but I think it's worth thinking it through in those little baby steps, actually, for somebody who's struggling or someone who's found that they've missed opportunities because of fear. If you find that you've had a long history of missing out on decisions, opportunities, or you've made the wrong decision, or you've said the wrong thing, or etc., and you look back and you realize that it's because of fear, then maybe this video here is worth you coming alongside with me, and we think it through on step by step using using 2 Timothy chapter 1 verse 7, where it says that God has given us a sound mind, and he has not given us the spirit of fear, but of power and of love. So that means that if that email had come to me, and I'm somebody who's walking in power and someone who's walking in love, I would have responded to that text message differently, for example, or email at work. Let's say it's at work, for example. I would have responded to it very, very differently. But because it came and it clouded me with fear and took over my mind, I'm so filled with fear, I would end up taking steps that would I would end up taking a different course, a different path, basically. And usually when I turn because of fear, I'm normally turning to something that will not benefit me, because that is the path of fear. That is not the path of righteousness, and that's certainly not the path of courage. And we all know that basically for you to benefit on the good things in life, a lot of times you do need courage. You need to have courage. So anyway, I better go, and I just wanted to share that. So with that dream that I just shared with you, let's see how it goes. If anyone has any understanding, please share with me. Just put it on the comment section. Let's see. Who knows? But I have a feeling it's one of those dreams that will probably play out. I know that on the news there was a story of I think there was a boss. An accident with a coach or a boss, and there was some wedding involved. I didn't actually listen to that news, but I saw something like that on my news feed. I don't feel that that's what it is, but maybe I should have listened to that news actually. But anyway, let's see how this one goes. All right, we'll see you guys. Have a lovely evening. Take care now. Bye.